I watched a fucking video on semen retention. I was like, yeah, female attraction, glow, you feel better, you're happier. I was like, alright, well, yeah, this feels pretty good. I was connecting the dots and I was like, yeah, I think I'll give it a shot because at the time I was a complete bum. But this journey completely changed my life around. It was the catalyst for a complete 180-degree turn for me to actually become a disciplined individual, right? But on the journey, and I've been doing this for 4 years, so I know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. I've been through it all when it comes to semen retention. But on the journey, there's a few misconceptions that a lot of people they talk about, but honestly, I don't really think it's true. And one of those myths is that you get superpowers instantly on semen retention, right? So I would be watching these videos and I would be like, or the video would be like, you get superhuman strength, you get stronger, your voice might get a little bit deeper, you get energy. But honestly, bro, I mean, do you really get energy that quick? If you've been gooning for like 5 years straight and you go 7 days on retention, your life is not going to completely change around. All right, you're not going to become this super handsome, charismatic individual who's fucking confident, dapping people up instantly. Okay, this journey takes patience. So if you get on the journey, you've been doing it for like 5 years, you finally get on the journey and you're like, where's the benefits? Well, you gotta be on this journey for longer periods of time to see the benefits compound. Okay? Semen retention can completely change your life, sure, but it has to be like a lifestyle for you. You can't just go 7 days after gooning for like 5 years straight. Your brain is still fried from all the websites, bro. And the fact that you think you're gonna get the benefits immediately, it's ridiculous, bro. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers, especially in the semen retention niche, they're like, yeah, you get the fucking female attraction and shit. But honestly, if you get on the journey, you're not gonna become a female magnet. Females aren't gonna be climbing over mountains hunting for your dumb ass. It's not how it works. You gotta use the energy from this journey to improve yourself, alright? Semen retention, all it really is a catalyst for your self improvement. Okay? It was it was the fucking it was like the jump start for me to complete, or not to complete, but to embark on my semen retention journey and self improvement, right? But yeah, that's one of the biggest myths I see, and along with the female attraction, like, women are not gonna be instantly attracted to you, like I said. That's one of the biggest myths too. That's actually one of the reasons why I got on this journey. I was like, man, that sounds pretty good, right? Who doesn't like women? Every masculine guy likes women. So I was like, yeah, let me hop on this journey. Let me see how it goes. But it's not exactly true. Sure, if you have the energy on semen retention, then you can improve yourself. You could have the discipline and the energy to freaking hit the gym and become a more charismatic individual, sure. But it's not gonna make you a chick magnet instantly. And no, I hate when people say this. Women can smell it on you, bro. That's just fucking nasty. Can we all just put our hands up and admit that women cannot smell the retention on you? That's just fucking stupid. Okay. And the last myth I wanted to talk about in this video was that you'll always feel amazing. Now that's not really true, okay? If you've been on this journey, you probably heard about the semen retention. Fuck, bro, I just dropped my mic. Anyway, honestly, I'm not gonna cut that shit out. I don't want to cut anything out, but Yeah, you'll always feel amazing, right? You probably heard about the semen retention flatlines, how you're not always gonna feel good. You know, you might feel like all the benefits are gone, but I'll tell you what though, you might not always feel amazing. You might not always feel like you smoked a joint of weed and you're just high all the time in this journey. Yeah, that's definitely not true, but what I can tell you is if you're on semen retention and you're at least bare minimum a week plus on this journey, you're gonna feel substantially better than you would relapsing, okay? So you're not gonna feel like high on life and like super happy and fulfilled, but it's definitely way better than relapsing, bro. Relapsing, I feel like that's probably one of the worst feelings a guy can feel. You know, if you relapse, it's just depressing. Your brain gets fried. You're frying your dopamine receptors and you get lazy, less ambitious. It's just a horrible feeling overall. Especially if you relapse to the sites, bro. It's a terrible thing, man. But yeah, I mean, those are three myths that I had to find out the hard way were false. Cause I've been on this journey for like 40 something years, and I had to go through all the stages of retention, and I had to find out for myself what's legit and what's not legit. And I came to the conclusion that, you know, a lot of these things on retention are myths, but semen retention is still a very valuable thing for you, alright? But you can't look at it like a magic pill. That's not what it is, bro. Semen retention is 100% not a fucking magic pill in your life. You gotta look at it as a tool, alright? You know, in a video game, you have different tools, stuff. You have like guns in your inventory, you might have perks. It's like a perk almost. You know, if you ever play Call of Duty, you have different kind of perks that some of them make you sprint faster, some of them can allow you to pick up ammo off the ground. Some of them can let you like pull out a weapon faster. You gotta look at retention as a perk. And I'm telling you, it's pretty fucking powerful, right? This journey makes you hungry for life. If you're sitting there, you're relapsing daily, there's no fucking way you're gonna be as driven and as ambitious as the guy who fucking retains his seed and doesn't watch the websites, doesn't fucking goon, doesn't fry his dopamine receptors. There's no possible way that that guy who's relapsing every single day is gonna be as driven as you on retention. Okay. So yeah, honestly, I wanted to come here and talk about these misconceptions because a lot of people they get on retention and they're like, "Where's the female attraction?" But they're just sitting on their ass all day. How are you gonna ask, "Where's the female attraction? Where's all the benefits?" But you're sitting on your ass all day like a lazy bum. This journey is not gonna be useful for you if you're a lazy ass motherfucker. You gotta get up and actually do something, okay? I'd say the main benefit and the benefit I love the most on this journey is just the drive and the discipline you have and the self confidence that's deep set within you. That you know that you have the discipline to say no to one of the most powerful biological desires that any guy can experience. 99% of the world watches the websites, watches corn, the goon every day, or at least once a week. These people are being basically attacked. You know, it's basically attack on masculinity as a whole. These websites do not want you to be strong. You know how it feels to relapse. You know you feel tired, less ambitious. You just want to sit down and go to sleep, right? You know how that feels, but that's not a bad thing. Sex is not a bad thing if you relapse once, okay, whatever, but it's when you goon to fucking websites and you're doing that every single week even a week is reasonable. Not to goon to have, you know, you have it the natural way. I'll just put it that way. But if you're relapsing every single day, you don't think that's gonna have an effect on you? I think people need to take retention more seriously. Alright, because the whole fucking world is more degenerate, perhaps more degenerate than has ever been in all of human history. People watching corn every day and they're hyper addicted to it. It's a very sad thing to see. And listen, I know you get on retention because you want the energy, you want the glow, etc. But you're doing a very important thing when you get on this journey. Okay, you're rebelling against one of the most evil things on the universe, which is corn. Alright? If you don't know what I'm saying when I say corn, just put a P in front of corn. Replace the C with the P and you'll understand what I'm saying. But it's, man, I'm at a loss for words because it's unbelievable to me that corn is this prominent today. And so many people are relapsing and they don't even know that they could be living on a completely different realm of human life if they were just to retain their semen for just 2 weeks. Their entire life will change. Alright? So if you're on this journey, you might have the motivation to get on it because of shallow benefits, whether that's the glow. Maybe you thought female attraction was just gonna be the magic pill for you. Whatever it may be, but you gotta understand, bro. This is far beyond just female attraction and the glow, okay? But shit, I'm just gonna leave it right there. I don't really have nothing else to talk about, so probably just end the video. I'll see y'all.